Well, I'm getting ready to try and install the DC outlet plug on the front rack of my Honda Rancher AT. It's a Honda Genuine accessory, and it's basically a plug-and-play deal. You know, the marine gray connector is already under the right front fender, so I'm going to try and put that on today and do a little video of the install on the way here. This was a Christmas present that I got from my mom and dad, and so yeah, it ought to be a good addition to the Rancher. So anyway, this is the kit here, came in the box, and I think from the pictures I've seen in the videos, it'll mount somewhere between here or right here. One attaches to the rack bar right there, and the wire comes up through there, and you clamp the wire down and everything. Comes down up underneath this fender here, and it's a little plug right there where my finger's at. It's kind of hard to see right now, but that's where it's at, and that's where this will plug into that and then come up here and be mounted, and you'll be able to plug things in. Anything 10 amps or less, I believe, is what the instructions say. So yeah, that'll be nice. Anyway, stay tuned. Yeah, so far we got the mounting bracket and plate right here, and this is what the actual plug will sit in. So took the 5mm screw and nut that's supplied in the kit and tighten that down in the first hole, just like it shows in the diagram there. The next thing we'll move on to do is actually attach the DC, or they call it ACC socket, in here with the metal ring on the back, and bring the sub harness into the back of that plug. So that'll be the next thing we'll do. Yeah, the second step in the install was to insert the plug in the round bracket here. So you have your little rubber water and dust cap there. The metal ring that goes on the back of the plug connector was threaded. So you take the metal ring off and thread it up and tighten that down. That's what holds that tight in the bracket. And then you take the wiring harness, and the large end of the connector is what snaps onto the back of the plug. So you can kind of see there in the instructions and kind of see what I have here. This end right here is what will connect to the wiring harness on the Rancher. So, and next thing we'll be doing is taking and actually mounting this in place over here. I think it'll probably go something about like that. There's some actual U-clamps that are supplied in the kit. I think it's about 3 of them that will hold this in place, and then this wiring harness will be fed down through here and go to that plug that I showed you earlier in the video. Next thing that I had to do was these little U-clamps, or they call them stays, I guess to be plural, are basically, that's included in the kit as well, are these things right here, and they come closed, so they tell you to expand them open like that. And I don't know if you can see it, they're little pieces of rubber strip they give you in the kit as well, and you put those in the back side of these stays, and what that does is it grips the metal bar here on the rack, and also prevent from, you know, rubbing all the paint off and stuff like that. So that was pretty easy to do. You know, you put those in place like so, 2 on the front side here of the rack and 1 on the back side of the rack. So the next thing we'll be doing is taking the socket here and mounting plate, and it will be installed just like that, with these holes will line up with the holes on these clamps. Again, 5mm screw and nut on each of the 3 of these holes here. This clamp will move over kind of like that. And then this wiring harness, of course, well, like I had mentioned earlier, will go down through this this hole right here in the bodywork of the Rancher. So that's the next step. So yeah, the next step in installing the outlet on the Rancher was to take the mounting plate with the outlet and wiring harness and take 3 5mm screws along with a nut, all supplied within the kit, and mount this plate to the Rancher's rack here, just like you see in the picture, and tighten all that stuff down so it's nice and secure. And they also give zip ties. They give you 3 zip ties in the kit. This is the one for down below the fender there, but all of the other ones look just like this. You take 2 of those and place one about right here to hold the wiring harness in place there, and put another one right there to hold it against the rack there. And then of course, like I said, you feed the remaining part of the harness down through this hole here, and it comes out right here and will connect up there where that white plug is at. Next thing we'll do is remove that dummy cover from that plug, and this will simply plug right into that, and should have power to it then. So got all that installed now for the outlet. You can see it's mounted and secured and tightened down all 4 screws there, and routed the wiring harness down. And you can see how it puts the plug in position right there to plug things in. Just pop that little waterproof dust cap off, and you can plug things in there. Like I said, it says on the plug there 12 volt, 10 amp, 120 watt is the limit on it. So anyway, going up underneath the fender here, try and show the things that I did. Like I said, right there is where the wiring harness for the plug plugs into the wiring harness for the Rancher. See if I can put a little light on that, maybe see it better. Right up there where I got the light facing is right where it plugs in at. Then the wire harness falls back there and comes out the hole right there. And they provide you with another zip tie that you address that wiring harness onto the frame rail right there above this shock tower. And I added another additional little zip tie right there, just to kind of attach it to the rest of the wiring harness that was already there for the Rancher. So see, that's all nice and neat and out of the way of the suspension here and tire and all that kind of stuff. So got all that squared away. And this will only work if the engine is running or the ignition's on. They say with the engine running, and I guess that's rightly so, because if you had something that's pulling a lot of current on here, it would drain your battery really fast if you didn't have the engine running. So I'm going to start it up here. And the only thing right now that I've got to test it out with is a cell phone charger that's made for like your car or truck. So I'm going to plug that in and kind of test it, see if it see how it does as far as charging a device like that, since that's the only thing at the moment I've got that would plug into something like this. So I'm going to attach it to my phone and plug in just like that. And you can see the LED light come on my charger, and you can see it's charging my phone. See the little bar scrolling there. So yeah, it's working. And ideally you would have this somewhere where you could mount it, like I guess anything like a GPS or a phone or anything. They make those holders and things that you can clamp to your handlebars and have it right up here with an eyesight, hand reach of the of while you're riding. So that's, you know, really good there. And you can see, like I said, you got power because you got the LED lit up there. And so yeah, that's nice there. Good feature to have on a quad, you know, when you're out riding around and you know, you're out and maybe gone for a while, you know, and your phone goes dead, you can charge it back up, or, you know, run a spotlight or something like that off of it. You know, all that stuff's good stuff to have, you know. You know, the install of that was very easy. It wasn't really complicated, you know. I think the hardest part was getting the little dummy connector out of the ATV wiring harness to plug in the connector for the outlet here into. You know, it's just an awkward spot because it's right up behind that headlight bucket there. And you got to have a pair of pliers, so it's kind of awkward to get the pliers in there. But once you get the pliers in there and you pull that little tab back, the little dummy connector comes right out. And basically all that was just that's your dummy connector right there that Honda put in there to keep dirt and water out of that connector. You know, until you decide to install the DC outlet kit in it. And I'm told there's one for the back here somewhere that mounts somewhere here on the back rack. You can have one up front and one on the back here, but I haven't quite located the connector for this one at the back yet. And anyway, I figured I'd start out with the one up front here and install that one, and maybe later on I'll put the one out back somewhere. But at least now you have the option, you know, of charging something, you know, while you're out on the trail. So that's nice. And you know, these chargers like this on my phone, you got this cord like this pretty far, so I mean you can kind of stick this in your pocket while you're riding, you know, and it would reach, you know, in a case like this, you know, or something, and you could secure it like that, and it could charge it while you were riding. So that's good thing to have. So yeah, that does it for the DC outlet install for the Honda Rancher AT. Thanks for watching. Well, I just got through putting a coat of SC1 on the Rancher. Been a while since I'd done that. Kind of polish it up, buff some of the scratches out on the outside of the fenders and all. Really makes a difference in the way it looks. See my DC outlet plug there again. So yeah, ready to put it up.